Hello, critical thinkers. Hope all is well. You know what? I am really shocked that I did not pick up on this before. A lot of people have been asking me about the nurses involved in the Robert Brooks murder at Marcy Correctional Facility. Now, before I go into this news, if everyone can please, if you take a moment, please like the video, share the video, comment below, and if you are not a member already, sorry, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It greatly helps with the algorithms so that I'll be able to produce more content. So first and foremost, thank you for everyone who has subscribed. I appreciate it immensely. So going back to the topic at hand, Robert Brooks, the nurses involved in the Robert Brooks homicide. People have been asking me for months what's happening with the nurses involved, the nurses that were in the infirmary while Robert Brooks was being savagely beaten. And I have not had an answer for them. Unfortunately, this is really old news. We do have some indication, and the news is that these nurses won't be charged. So I'm going to go over an article with you. This is actually from February. So this news came out in February, and unfortunately, I missed it. But I wanted to get this news out to everyone because periodically there will be comments in terms of what's happening to the nurses. So I'm going to go ahead and share this article with you now, and we can get into it. So this article is from the Observer Dispatch. It's from February 26, 2025. Again, so this is more than a month and a half old. So the title is Three Nurses Named in Robert Brooks Investigation Will Not Face Criminal Charges. One of the attorneys for the Robert Brooks family has confirmed the three medical personnel initially named in the investigation are currently not facing charges. For those of you who don't know, the Brooks family hired attorneys, and there's two lawsuits that are pending. One is a federal lawsuit, and the other is a state lawsuit in which they've named New York State docs. They've named all of the correctional officers involved, and they've also named in their civil suits these medical personnel who were on site while Robert Brooks was being brutally murdered. Let's continue on with the article. Those personnel are Nurse Kyle Dishnaw, RN Patricia Matos, who has been, coined as the queen of cover-ups, according to the Freelance News, and Aben uh, Medovic, who was employed by an as yet unknown private staffing agency to work at Marcy, according to the Brooks lawsuit. So, just one quick thing. The third nurse, and I massacred his name, A. Bedin, he is not employed by New York State docs. He's employed by an outside agency. It's not uncommon for hospitals, medical centers, and prison facilities to outsource some of their nursing personnel. Let's move on with the article. When asked why the three medical personnel are not having charges levied against them in the Brooks death, Elizabeth Mazur, a partner at Hughes, Sokol, Piers, Resnick, and Din, said she was not privy to Special Prosecutor William Fitzpatrick's decision, but had her own opinion as to why. So, what we're about to read now is the Brooks family attorney, one of them, Elizabeth Mazur, speculate on why they are not being charged. So, this is a quote. There's a higher standard of proof to establish criminal liability against someone. She speculated, quote, there's more to prove than in a civil case. Brooks death. Robert Brooks died choking on his own blood at Marcy Correctional Facility after three separate beatings. Fitzpatrick said earlier this month when several of the correctional officers were charged in his death. Another correctional officer was charged a few days later. One of the beatings was caught on body cams worn by the correctional officers. constitutional obligation to intervene. By the way, if there's any nursing staff that are watching this, if you're an RN, whether you're in the New York State, whether you're practicing in New York State or you're in the other 50 states, please do me a favor and comment on what you think should have occurred with those nurses while Robert Brooks was being beaten and harmed. Let's go back to the article. Constitutional obligation to intervene. And while the three medical personnel are currently not facing criminal charges, the two nurses who can be seen in the video standing by and watching the lawsuit are being charged in the civil case. So just to clarify, I said earlier that all three were being charged. It's actually the two nurses who you see on camera, Kyle Deschnaw and Patricia Matos. Let's continue on. They quote, they were people with a constitutional obligation to intervene to prevent Robert Brooks from being killed for no good reason, Missouri said. And they didn't do that. However, that third medical personnel was not seen on video, and Missouri said they don't have enough facts to understand that person's role in the beating. Deschnaw and Mametovic were named in the lawsuit, with Missouri saying the two failed to intervene and had deliberate indifference to serious medical needs of Brooks. So they're basically saying that these two nurses had indifference. They didn't care. And in fact, I believe you saw on the video one of the nurses, believe it was Kyle Deschnaw, smirking. Continuing with the article, Missouri added these are claims asserted against everyone on the scene, not just the medical personnel. Okay, I believe that's the end of the article. Okay, so that's it. It's really a short article, but it's a really important article because people have been questioning and asking what occurred with the nurses, and it seems that they won't be criminally charged. We don't know whether they are cooperating witnesses. We can speculate as to say what they potentially could have been charged with. Could they have been charged with a tampering offense? Could they have been charged with conspiracy? Whether it be that they did not file paperwork correctly to keep under wraps the beating of Robert Brooks. We saw that there was one correctional officer charged in the beating death of Robert Brooks, and he was charged with a tampering with evidence charge. So there you have it. That's the end of the article. Again, for everyone who's on, thank you. I just wanted to give you this little quick news that came out back in February. I'm surprised I did not pick this up and see this, but I wanted to deliver that news to you so that everyone knows the medical staff, the RNs involved, who are in the infirmary, are not being criminally charged according to the Brooks family attorney. So again, I wanted to thank everyone for being on. Um, Thank you so much. Please share the video, like the video, comment. If you have a second, please write in your city or state where you're watching from. And just as a reminder, tomorrow night, April 13th, 2025, at 9 p.m., we are going deep into the Marcy Infirmary where Robert Brooks died. We have an insider, um, Sean Chung, who was incarcerated at Marcy Correctional, who also worked in the infirmary. He's going to be speaking about the horrific incidents that occurred at Marcy. So you don't want to miss this. This is live tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss this. So again, thank you. Take care. God bless, and see you next time.